I'd like to thank everyone for attending today. I'd like to go ahead and get started. A few housekeeping things before I begin. There's a sign-up sheet that's going around. Make sure that you fill out all your information on that. The reason I need that is I've got to have that information in order to submit this to the Department of Business and Professional Regulation for continuing education credit. This course is good for 1 hour of general credit for CILB contractors only. If you happen to be watching this video series after the fact, keep in mind I can only give credit if you're actually here on the day of, so you're not going to be able to get credit if you're watching this through a video presentation. Today's presentation is going to be the basics of construction lien law, and that's a little bit of an oxymoron because lien law is an incredibly complicated subject. I always joke around that there are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and changes to the lien law, and it literally changes every year, and this year's no exception. When you're talking about lien law, what I'm focusing on is Florida construction lien law. Keep in mind that there is lien law in every different types of liens, different types of lien law in every state in the U.S. Okay, I'm only going to focus on Florida construction lien law. There's also mechanics possessory liens. So, for example, if you improve a piece of equipment or you repair a piece of equipment, you may have the ability to place a lien on that until you get paid. Okay, I'm not going to be talking about that, just construction lien law. I'm also not going to be talking about payment bonds or performance bonds. I'm going to focus only on lien claims. So if you're working on a public project, whether it be local, state, or federal, whether it be a public school, a prison, post office, all those types of things are going to have payment and performance bonds. That's a different seminar. So what is the basics of lien law? What are you talking about when you're talking about that? Well, if you are improving a piece of property, if you are providing construction improvements for a property, and you improve that in a permanent nature, then the claim of lien acts as a security, almost like a mortgage, for the work that you perform. You can think of it a lot as a mortgage, and your contract is almost like a personal guarantee or a promissory note. If you have a lien, you've got to have a contract. Okay. Now there's a question in the back. Okay, for those of you that didn't hear that, the question was, do I have to have an actual written contract in order to have a claim of lien? And I actually get this question all the time. You may be in a situation where you've got work that you've done or materials that you've supplied and you've sent an invoice, but you don't have a written document that says agreement on top. And that's perfectly fine. Okay, what you have is you've got an oral contract that's evidenced by performance in writing. Okay, if you have provided materials and you've sent out a subsequent invoice, then the invoice acts as a writing that confirms the nature of the agreement, and also you perform on that. You provide the materials. So yes, you can lien for that even if you don't have a written contract. The one thing that you need to keep in mind, though, is that your lien follows your contract. Okay, so it is limited by the terms of your contract, by the scope of your contract, and also the type and number of liens that you have will be dependent on the type and number of contracts that you have. So keep that in mind.